The Time I Got the Creeps. Words by Neil Stevens. Pictures by Momoko Kita and Isabella Chung. When growing up, I was always afraid that the creeps would come my way, for it or they gave me the creeps, I used to hear people say. And I knew that the creeps were nasty, not sweet and full of charm, for when people talked of getting the creeps, their faces were full of alarm. But as I got older, I forgot all about them, until one day, out of the blue, an anxious young lady knocked on my door saying, "Here, these are for you." Then before I had the chance to reply, yes, before I could put up a fight, she shoved a jar into my hands and disappeared out of sight. So I took the jar into my house and placed it on the table, and then remembered a strict rule in life: always read the label. So next I went into the kitchen and placed the jar on the side, started to read the label and saw "warning, creeps inside." "Oh no, she gave me the creeps," I said, then realised what I had become, for of all those people I heard growing up, I knew that I was now one. What was I to do? Where was I to turn? I didn't have any idea. I was just stuck in my kitchen with the creeps, truly my life's biggest fear. I know, I thought, I'll throw them away. So I grabbed them, but without due care, for as I did, the lid popped off, and then creeps were everywhere. They looked at me, I looked at them, and they were an awful sight. Small and creepy, naturally. They would give anybody a fright. Then suddenly they were gone. They had crept off and found places to hide, and I had no idea of where they'd crept, and that made me feel horrible inside. Then for days I saw nothing of them, but knew they were all around. For my house, it was both day and night now full of a creeping sound. Then one day it happened, there I was, still full of that horrible feeling, when one crept up behind me and shrieked so loudly my head, well, it hit the ceiling. And that was it, their game had started. From then on they did torment, creeping up all the time, no matter where in my house I went. And with 2 weeks of continuous shrieks, I knew I was in it up to my neck, for I was now afraid of anything that moved, and my nerves, well, they were a wreck. I must do something about them, I thought. My health I have to recover. So I researched through books and the internet, and that's when I did discover that creeps are notoriously difficult to catch, so here is what you must do. Tie 2 mirrors to the sides of your head to give you an all-round view. Then when up they creep, turn real quick and stare them straight in the eyes. For creeps, you see, they freeze on the spot if you give them the surprise. And it took me a while, believe me, for at first when I turned around, I'd only hear them creeping away with that horrible creeping sound. Until one day it worked, for I had developed my technique. I'd wait until they'd opened their mouths and were just about to shriek. Then I'd whip around so quickly, and then once again I'd see a nasty, horrible, ghastly creep staring back at me. Now my research had also told me a detail not so small, that creeps stay frozen for 7 days, so in 1 week you must catch them all. Then what's really horrible about the creeps is that back to you or your house they'll roam, if you don't give them to someone else and find them a brand new home. So I got on with the job, turning quickly and catching them one by one, with my house free of that creeping noise, I knew my job was nearly done. For of course there was one thing left to do to guarantee peace for myself. Take that jar full up with creeps and give it to someone else. So miles I went to a great big city, saw a person on the street, ran up to them saying, "These are for you," then beat a hasty retreat. So at last I was free of the creeps, they were beaten, and no more was I paranoid. But still to this day, people running with jars, I make certain I'm sure to avoid. And you should too.